author and nutritionist Robert Ferguson. Please welcome Robert Ferguson.
All right, y'all, let's hear it for America's Fat Loss Coach, Robert Ferguson!
Yep, that is me, Roberto Lorenzo Ferguson, coming to you live from the 805. Hey, yes, my name is Robert Ferguson. I am your nutritionist. I share because I care. And if you are here for the first time, I want to say thank you for being here. And I want to encourage you to go over to our YouTube channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell so that you can be notified anytime we upload any information. And then you can listen or watch at your convenience. It really is that simple. Okay? Now, I'm going to share something with you guys that I believe will prove to be quite helpful. Now, the preface here is, actually, you know what, before I even go there, I want to share something with you. I had one of my clients today ask me the question. He said, I'm drinking almond milk, I'm buying oat milk, and my son drinks whole milk. Is there a difference between the different milks? And what would you recommend? Now, I don't know about you guys. So for whoever catching me live, what's your preference of milk? Are you an almond milk person? Are you an oat milk person? Are you a like low fat, reduced fat, 1%, 2%? Are you a whole milk person? Like where you eat, you drink whole milk? Like what kind of milk do you prefer? I can share this with you as you guys may share, and I would love to hear what milk you guys, like to consume. But when my daughters were born, okay, and they're 15 and a half and 13 years of age today, the first 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years of their life, they were vegetarians 100%. Now they did eat fish. They ate a lot of tofu, a lot of soy, and they drank soy milk. So they went from breast milk to soy milk, and they never ever really did the whole milk thing. Whereas on the flip of it, for me, I grew up and I only drank whole milk. And I remember when I was about, I'm going to say maybe 13 or 14, my mom bought reduced fat, 1% or low fat milk. And I wasn't looking for anything else. I just thought it was regular whole milk. And I remember like pouring myself a glass of milk. And I poured myself a glass of this milk thinking it was whole milk, and it wasn't. And I was like, what is this? I was like, oh, it seemed like water. So I definitely remember when that was happening, because during that time, the whole movement around avoiding fat, specifically saturated fat, was the goal. So everybody was like, avoid fat, don't eat fat. So crackers were reduced fat crackers. You had reduced fat milk. You had reduced fat everything. And even to this day, there's a lot of people who don't eat saturated fat. They run from fat because it was indoctrinated for years that if you eat fat, that's the problem. That's going to cause heart disease. That's going to cause stroke, heart attack. That's going to cause all kind of problems. And boy, were they wrong. So anyway, this client asked me, he goes, hey, so what do you recommend? And I said, well, when it comes to milk, I said, let's just look at the data. We know that people who drink whole milk are leaner, have a lower BMI, lower body fat percentage than people who drink reduced fat milk. Number one, we know that. There's been major studies done on this, meta-analysis. It's clear. The second thing is, if you looked at almond milk or even oat milk, maybe in a cup you're going to get 1 gram of protein. Now, everything is not about protein, but when you look at soy milk or regular whole milk, even reduced fat regular milk, you're getting 7, 8 grams of protein in a cup. And I like the balance of the rest of it. Now, the calories are up, but we're not concerned about calories. The other thing, and the last thing I would mention, is if you've heard me talk about insulin resistance, if you drink whole milk compared to reduced fat milk, Reduced fat milk increases the insulin response by about 300%. Yes, that's crazy. And a lot of it comes down to the fact that whole milk, yes, has been pasteurized, but it hasn't been the integrity of its structure is still in place. And what we've learned is that when a food, the integrity of its structure is disrupted, you're more likely to see a bigger insulin response, which is not a good thing, right? So if I take steak, which has never been broken up and then put back together as a steak, let's say you take a piece of steak that is really the straps, right? That's been broken up and then it's put back together in the form of a patty. Well, the patty is going to cause a greater insulin response than the steak that's never had the integrity of its structure disrupted. Same as if you eat regular fruits, you have a better insulin response than if you break it up into a smoothie and do it. And I'm not saying don't have a smoothie. I'm just saying the further you get from nature, the bigger the insulin response. Okay? All right. Anyway, I'm doing it live, and I want to encourage you, if you have not learned about our Detox Drop, we just completed the first 10 people that did the updated version of the Detox Drop got amazing outcomes. Okay, it's about 1,500 calories a day, so it's not like you're starving. It's not something where you're going to be in the bathroom all the time, but yet you are going to see improvements with regularity. But what we're seeing is fasting glucose numbers coming down, insulin numbers are coming down, uric acid's coming down, blood pressure is coming down, energy levels are going up. Everything is improving with this 7-day program. Now you get an eating plan, but you also get our proprietary blend of supplements that you take every day. Now, if you're taking medications, you can continue to take your medications, but you don't take any other supplements for the 7-day program. And all of these supplements are designed to help you optimize from the inside out. So it kind of goes with the theme of this talk. It's like better health begins in the gut. Hippocrates was correct when he said, let thy food be thy medicine and thy medicine be thy food. And he was also correct when he said all disease begins in the gut. And you have many gastroenterologists that are starting to believe that. Okay, anyway, let's dive into what I want to share with you. I want to share because I care. Okay, think about this. We have more focus on nutrition, more focus on fitness, more focus on health, more focus on being mindful, like about health and better health, more now than ever in history. But yet, we continue to become more and more sick. Not just overweight, not just obese, but sick. When I look at just fatty liver alone, which our Detox Drop addresses that, you got 25% of young kids have fatty liver, don't even know it. You're getting close to 50% of adults, overweight or not, have fatty liver and don't even know it. And fatty liver is a precursor to type 2 diabetes, precursor to high blood pressure. It's a precursor to a whole bunch of chronic illnesses. Okay, so follow me on this. All right. So more people are talking about health. More companies are selling supplements. More people are talking about fitness. More people are talking about, people are taking more and more photos of themselves. Look at me. Look at me. I've lost weight. Then you don't see them for a while. They gain it back. Then they do another photo. They lost weight. Okay. We know that this is crazy, but the stats I'm going to share with you right now, take screenshots of this, especially if you're in the world of health and fitness, nutrition. Okay. Check this out. If you go back to 1987, you can see easily up to 2021, and we're even worse than 2021 as I'm sharing this. Obesity rates are out of control. Out of control. We are scheduled by 2030 that 50% of the adult population will be obese, not overweight, obese. But again, that's just looking at excess body fat. I'm about to share something with you that's way bigger than that. Okay. You have 260 million adults that live in the United States. So we're only talking about the United States, but the same thing is taking place in Canada and in other advanced industrialized countries. But we have 260 million adults. See that number under Trader Joe's? 260 million. Of that 260 million, 110 million people are obese, which is 42.4% of the population. 150 million of these people are normal weight, or there's, a little overweight. They're not obese, they're just overweight. And again, all based on BMI. I believe if we went by body composition, like body fat percentage, it'd be worse. So out of the 260 million, you got 110 million that are obese, 150 million that are normal weight, and some of those people are overweight, which is 57.6%. Okay? Now it starts to get interesting. Look under where it says 110 million, and you have 42.4% obese. Of those people, 80% of those people are obese and sick, meaning they have some type of metabolic disorder. Could be high blood pressure, could be high triglycerides, it could be high cholesterol, right? 80%. So that means 20% of people who are obese, they're healthy. They're doing just fine. They don't have any metabolic challenges, and they can live a nice, healthy life and be obese. 20%. Now look under 150 million. Normal weight or overweight and sick, 60%. So of those 150 million people, 60% of them, 60% are overweight and sick. 80% of the other side, overweight, like obese or sick. So when we look at that, look at the bottom of what I just shared with you. You will see that it says in 2018, the University of North Carolina did a study, and they came out and said that 88% of adults are metabolically unhealthy, meaning only 12% are metabolically fit. This is real. I don't know if you guys are just looking in the mirror and go, oh, I'm okay. I'm not where I used to be, but I'm okay. I don't know what the hell people are thinking, but this is serious. And it's getting worse every year. In 2022, Tufts University came out and said 93% of adults are metabolically unhealthy. That's in 4 years. We're 5% more unhealthy in 4 years. What the hell is going on here? It's because we got a lot of people that are complaining. People want more, but they're not doing anything for more. And if you're not educated and you're just going along, dee-doo-doo, and you're not even paying attention, that's why these numbers keep driving up. Geez. And so when you look at the numbers, look at that. So 80% are obese and sick, which is 86 million people. You have 90 million people that are overweight and sick. That means we have 176 million sick people. So if you have high blood pressure, you're part of the sick group. If you have metabolic health challenges, you're part of the sick group. If you have a fatty liver, you're part of the sick group. If you have asthma and all these other challenges, you're part of the sick group. I'm not part of the sick group, but I have compassion and I'm caring, and I really do care. Some of you have settled for some reason in your life. I don't know why, what happened. You got to this place where you settled with being okay with having to take medications. And then you just stopped. You settled. And a lot of you sell nutrition-based products. A lot of you work for healthcare companies. Many of you are nurses, uh, physician assistants, physicians, personal trainers, and you're sick, but yet you're promoting health. Now, help me. I mean, I get it. You don't have to be Mr. and Mrs. Fitness to help people. I have coaches who are amazing coaches that aren't at their goal weight, but they're great at coaching other people. I get it. Now, if I had a coach that every year, year after year after year, 5 years goes by and they gain 2 pounds a year, I don't think, unless there's a medical condition, I'm not okay with that either. I think you can be an overweight, you can be an obese coach if you know how to coach. But I would expect you to tackle it, and 3 years from now, you will definitely be healthier than you were 3 years before. Unless there is a medical condition that is causing you to gain weight or blocking you from losing it and being healthier. Okay. We are sick. And if you think it's bad for us now, and you look at your young grandkids and the kids running around and they're all thin, but they eat a little junk here and there, that is all part of the problem. They will be worse off than you. So if you're on blood pressure medication, if you are pre-diabetic or diabetic, and you look at the young kids and you go, they'll be okay. Let them be kids. If you got to live long enough, you will see that they will be worse off at your age than where you are right now. So if you're not in a good place, those healthy looking grandkids and kids and nieces and nephews, they will be worse off. I'm telling you what we know. This is data. The same, I mean, in 2000, I was talking about data and I was sharing about predictions. And everything that I shared has come to fruition, but yet is worse than what was predicted. I mean, I don't know. You guys help me. Help me help you. Help me help you. That's it. That's it. Any questions for me while you guys got me? Let's see here. We got Johnny Jones. I love saying that name. She says, always interesting information. It's always like, who knew? Well, thank you there, Johnny. I appreciate that because I live in a world where I'm always looking. And it's so diverse right now when it comes to nutrition and health that it changes all the time. But even though the science isn't settled in certain areas, we're progressive. And as long as someone like me doesn't buy into one way as the truth, then you're progressive. So I just look at it, knowing that things could change, but most things are pretty settled. I don't see us changing our perception of coffee. Coffee has way more benefits to drinking it than negatives. So I don't see a problem there. The egg has been beaten up over the years. I don't see a problem with that because they realize that an egg from a chicken is basically perfect food. When I look at salmon, wild salmon, I don't see that changing. There's a lot of things that aren't going to change. But that doesn't mean things aren't changing because they're introducing more things and more alternatives, and they make it look like it's healthy. You know what I mean? Like if you go back and look at the old campaigns of smoking cigarettes, they made it sound like it was the healthiest thing you could do for yourself. Helps with digestion, helps with relaxation. They had commercials about this. And that's when almost 50% of the US adult population was smoking cigarettes. But as a result of education, that's now under 20%. That's a big deal. I mean, because of education, people don't drink and drive. Because of education, and not all people, because obviously people still do it, but way less than what we are experiencing. Because of education, people put on their seatbelts. education is powerful. So there's no difference when it comes to nutrition education. Most people just don't want to slow down enough to be informed. So they will just go from one thing to the next and assume they get it and base their decisions off of false evidence that appears real, right? So if you go and you want to get leaner and you see a bodybuilder guy or woman and they say, oh no, you want to eat this every day, because they look like the epitome of fitness, you're like, they must know. And so you do it, not knowing that that thing that you're doing may play a role in causing stomach cancer, or it may cause some other type of cancer or some other hardship. But you got caught up in what the book looked like instead of becoming informed and making a decision based on clarity with the right information. Anyway. Okay, Sandy says, I am going to try picking up on my veggies. Veggies are a blessing. It is a blessing in the life that we live. Let me tell you, I've been having fun with my veggies. And as I'm getting ready to do the detox drop myself with some of you guys, I'm excited about it. I really am. I can tell you now that for those of you, here's inside scoop, because some people haven't received their detox, but it's on its way. And then there's an online part of it too, where you'll be able to log in and I explain a whole bunch of the details of it. So it's like 7 days of education if you want it. And my goal was to keep every day under 10 minutes, which I was able to do. So 10 minutes of your time, 7 days a week, you get insight, you have the meal plan, you go. But avocados are something you will be consuming every day. Now, we do have an alternative for people who just can't consume avocados. However, avocados, if you have a place where you can get some good avocados, I would say get those sooner than later so you have them on hand. Everything else is pretty status quo, if you will. Okay. All right, you guys. This is Robert Ferguson. Thank you for letting me share. I'm sharing because I care. And again, whole milk, there's some benefits to it. And getting our gut as healthy as possible makes it possible to get everything else healthier. It's an inside job. And if you want to learn more, we did make available a link for those who are new or want to get started. An easy way to get started is our 8-week fat loss challenge. A little bit more of a hardcore way of getting started. And I say hardcore because it's pretty strict, is to do our Detox Drop. It's a 7-day program, but it's designed to get results. And you're not starving. You are eating real food, and you're just eating the foods in the right combinations. And all the foods are chosen because of their natural positive impact on both your gut health and your overall health, with a specific focus on reducing inflammation in the body. Okay. Thank you. I stayed longer than I thought I would. I wanted to keep it under 20. We went a little bit above that, but I'm Robert Ferguson. I want to say thank you. And again, go to our YouTube channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell, and then make sure you click on the part that says, I want to be notified anytime there's a new video being uploaded to our YouTube channel. Then you can watch it or listen to it at your convenience. And by liking helps us get the word out. It helps with the algorithm. So thank you in advance. Until the next one, I'm Robert Ferguson.